Hi bebecitos, welcome back to my channel. Yes, another video. I'm trying to be consistent here. We're gonna see. But before I get sidetracked, I've been getting a lot of questions recently about, you know, how I'm running without getting injured, how I started running. So all of that stuff I'm going to talk about in other videos. But the main thing I wanted to talk about today is 5 beginner mistakes that people tend to make when they are just starting out their running journey. I'm just gonna hop right into it and get to the points so that this video is not too long. And if you have any questions, literally send me a message on Instagram or in the comments below and I can go into detail a bit more if there's something specific that you're struggling with. So the first mistake that I see all the time, I've done it before, I'm guilty, I'll be so real, is going out too fast. Like, no one's chasing you. Like, let me just put that out there. No one's chasing you. It doesn't have to be a Usain Bolt contender every run, and it's actually okay to go slow. So I know on Instagram it's so easy to see the influencers going, oh my god, come with me on an easy run, and it's literally like a 5 minute per kilometer pace, and you're like, easy run. Yeah, easy run. Meanwhile, I'm on like, I don't know, you could be on like an 8 minute, a 7 minute, like whatever. Like, it's so easy to get caught up in what everybody else is doing. But what you want to make sure you're doing is going out at a nice pace, a comfortable pace that you feel like you're able to sustain for a long amount of time, especially if you're just starting out. Like, you want to make sure that every single run, yes, you feel that it challenged you, but you're not going out flat out every single time. What you're going to do by doing that is literally get burnt out, overtrain, and possibly give yourself injuries. That is not what you want to do, and that is not going to keep you running. Like, as soon as you get injured, you're going to have to take time off, then you're not going to be able to run again. You see what I mean? So make sure that you're going out at a pace that's actually sustainable for you and not worrying about even what the pace says. Focus on how you feel. Do I feel like I can sustain this? Does this feel comfortable for me? If it is, bish bash bosh, don't even worry about anything else. Number 2 is strength training. So people are not strength training when they are doing their runs. So I'm going to tell you a little story about me, because if you are watching this video, it's likely that you follow me on Instagram. You know I was a gym girl, only gym, and that's all I done. But when I was blessed with the running bug, I completely stopped training in the gym and I was just running. And then I got a niggle in my right knee, in my patella, and it was basically onset patella tendonitis, and it was quite painful. It didn't stop me running, but I was literally like, ew, what is this? Like, I've never gotten injured before, what is this? And the physio was like, are you going to the gym? I was like, no. And she was like, what are you doing? Because she knew I was a personal trainer, so she was like, what are you doing? Like, get back into the gym and make it and balance it out so it works for you. Because basically all the runs that you're going out on, remember, you are hopping from one leg to another. So basically your body is taking on almost 20 times the amount of weight as what you weigh right now. So imagine just going that on one leg, literally hopping from one leg to another. All that impact is doing something. So you need to make sure that your legs, so your body is strong enough to actually take all that impact and not have yourself feeling like you're completely dead at the end, or the next day completely can't do anything else. So what I did was research everything, research what are the kind of exercises that are good for a running style, like a hybrid style. What do I need to do? I literally laid out my plan and I was like, okay, this is a good plan for somebody who is also wanting to improve their running performance. So make sure that you're actually doing strength training, going to the gym. It might sound scary, especially if you haven't been to the gym before, but if you want to keep running, honestly, strength training is the way to go. Number 3 is not warming up and cooling down. Like, I know all of you, like, if you're watching this video, most of you have done workouts or you've done runs where you haven't warmed up or cooled down, and you've seen how it felt. You've been like, oh, the next day you're like, oh, that kind of feels, yeah, that's because your body was not primed enough for you to actually start that run, and then when you finish, you're literally like, oh, okay, cool, back to work, or, you know, back to into bed. Like, no. When you're warming up, you need to make sure that you're doing, you're mimicking, first of all, some moves that you're actually going to do in those runs, and those movements should be dynamic. Yeah, dynamic meaning movement. Those ones that you learn in PE, where it's literally like you're standing there stretching your hamstrings, that it can be for the cool down, but for the warm up, you need to be doing dynamic stretches, mimicking movements that you're actually going to take into your runs, doing drills, A skips, B skips. That can be another video. And then when you actually do a run, you actually feel warmed up, your body, your joints feel lubricated, and then you actually feel the benefits of the warm up. And then when you finish running, you're cooling down, and that's when we do the static stretches, so the stretches that are not moving. That's when you can do those hamstring stretches, those holding your quads, like all of those ones, the ones that are not moving, that's when you can do that. I don't even think people understand how important warming up and cooling down is. This is what I'm telling you, and I'm telling you because I used to do it, and then I'd wonder why I get a niggle the next day, and I'm like, oh, it's because my warm up was about 5 seconds long and I went out and then I didn't cool down. fourth thing is, and I'm just thinking now that this maybe should have been number one, is not getting the proper footwear. So everybody says, oh, running is free, running is free. Yes, it's free, but you have to make sure that what you're putting on your feet, like literally your footwear, is the right footwear for you. And that's where it can get a bit techers. Like if you're just starting out, then cool. If you're trying to improve your running performance and you want to actually get the footwear that is right for you, and that can be determined by your foot strike, your foot pattern, literally how you're running. Whether you pronate, so imagine this is my foot. Pronate is if your ankle goes in, whether you supinate, where you're landing on the outside of your foot, whether you land on your toes, like literally all of that stuff. It's better to either do your own research or just go into like a Nike shop or any of those shops, Sports Direct, that have a treadmill or somebody who can actually tell you, look at your foot, look at how you run on a treadmill, or just be like, okay, this is the kind of shoe that will fit you. Maybe you have a neutral strike, so you're fine with most shoes. If you pronate, then you might need a stability shoe. If you supinate, then you might need something to help you so that when you land, you're landing as neutral as possible. Like all of those things, it's so important. When I first started out, I just picked whatever shoe was the cheapest, and I was like, oh, let me go out. First of all, the shoe was heavy, and second of all, I didn't realize that I pronated, so the shoe was not giving me that support there. So every time I'd go out on my runs, I'd feel like almost like I was not stable. And luckily for me, it didn't affect me as much because I realized how important it was to actually go and get my gait checked and figure out what shoe works for me. But if you haven't done that, it's literally free. It's free at the Nike store. It's free like at all of these stores in the UK. And I think it's free in most of these sports stores in around the world. Like literally just go in and be like, hi, I'm starting running and I want to know what shoe is right for me. And they'll be like, no worries, say less, got you. They'll ask you a couple questions, they'll look at your foot strike, and they'll be like, this is the type of shoe. And once you know the features of that shoe, if you don't like that shoe that they've given you, take the features of it. Okay, is it a stability shoe? Does it have cushioning? All of that. And then go and find your own shoe that you actually like. Number 5 is not setting realistic goals. Like when people first start out, it's all lovely. It's great if you have a long-term goal of, I want to run a marathon one day, or I want to run a half marathon one day. But if you're not able to run 5k at the moment, then focus on that short-term goal of running 5k. When you get to 5k, then cool. Then get to 10k. Once you get to 10k, then the half marathon, or 15 first, then the half marathon. Like slow down with the rate at which you feel like you are going to progress. Like saying that you want to run a 5k in 2 weeks or in 3 weeks when you're a complete beginner, that is not realistic. And if you set yourself a goal like that and you don't do it, then you're going to feel rubbish, and then you're going to feel demotivated, and then you're not going to want to go on those runs because you weren't able to run the distance that you said you wanted to by the time. So just be realistic with your goals. This is why it's so important to get a coach. Like it is a bit of blowing my own trumpet and being my own plug, but the amount of clients I've come to be being like, I want to run a half marathon, but I don't know where to start. I'm a beginner, don't even have the right shoes, can't even run 5k at the moment, but I know I want to do it. And then in like 12, 16, whatever pace that they go to, and they end up doing it, mind-blowing. It's amazing. It's the best feeling in the world when you're actually able to get those goals, because you set out realistic goals that you're able to track and progress on. And then when you're hitting them, you're like, oh my God, 6 weeks ago, I could not run, let's say 2k, and now I'm running 2k without stopping. Like, it's amazing. But if you really do want to take the guesswork completely out of it, then get yourself a running coach. Like I will say that I have got good results from myself and from my clients. So if you are interested, literally send me a message saying, look, this is my goal, I have a race coming up or whatever. Let me know, we'll talk about it. We'll get those milestone goals for you that feel realistic for your actual ability, so it doesn't feel like you're about to literally climb a mountain. That's the 5 mistakes that people make. If you're watching this video and you're just starting out running, don't make those mistakes. Like use this video, ask me any questions that you need, because it's all well and good wanting to have a goal, but if you're injured and you're not able to actually go out for those running goals, then what's the point? I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any suggestions for any other videos, then let me know. Other than that, have a great day, evening, night, wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next video.